Welcome everyone. We learn today the Brochos bas Yehuda, Alexander ben David, Palazis bas Avram, and we have the privilege to be learning today Brochos Daf Nun Zayin on the base. We're learning the Amud. Please feel free to ask any questions you want. That's the whole point, is you should learn, understand what you're learning, grow from it, enjoy the Torah. That's all we're here for. Ask questions, try and make me look stupid. That's what it's all about. Okay, so we're on the top of the page, Nun Zayin on the base, Haroya. We're talking a lot about dreams. We're still going to a little bit more about dreams, then we go into good morning, then we're going to carry on. Nun Zayin on the base, second line from the top. Tana Rabbana. Our rabbis taught us. Shleisha malachim heim. There's three kings that if you see them in your dream, it means something. Alright, David b'chalam. If you see David HaMelech, you see King David in your dream, yitzapeh lechasidus, you should expect to become a chassid. So what's a chassid? Chasidus, the way the Ramchal explains it, chasidus comes from word chesed, kindness. That you do more than you're required. Being a tzaddik means you're righteous, you do what's required from you. Chasidus means you do more than you're required. You're doing like a kindliness to Hashem. Kavayachal. You're going above and beyond what's needed. You're called a chassid. Doesn't mean you have the payas. It means that you are doing extra. Shleima, if you see Shleima in your dream, Yitzapel Chachma, expect Chachma. As we know, Shleima was the wisest of all men. He was Chachma Kol Adam. So if you see Shleima, he stood out because of his wisdom. He was incredibly Chacham. Hashem said he gave him in a nevuah, you can pick Chachma, Ashiras. He picked Chachma and he gave him Chachma and everything else. Achav, so he's the king of Achav, Yidag Mina Paranius, he should worry about bad things happening to him. Obviously, the dream is there for him to do tshuva. You should be worried about Paranius. Says the gemorah, Shleish Nevi'im, there was three Nevi'im, if you dream about them, so it has a meaning. Well, who are the three Nevi'im? Sefer Malachim, the book of Kings, Yitzapel Gdula. Expect Gdula, you're going to rise to greatness. If you see the book of Malachim, because the book of Malachim, Mepharshim say, it talks about the greatness of kings. That's what the Sefer Malachim is all about. Yechezkel, you see the book of Yechezkel. Yitzapel Chachma. So you should expect wisdom, Chachma. Why? Because the Sefer Yechezkel talks about the Kisei HaKavod, the angels in heaven, and Sisrei Torah, Kabbalah, whatever it is. So Mamela, that's a tremendous level of Chachma, wisdom. So if you see the book of Yechezkel, expect wisdom. Yeshaya Yitzapel Nechama. If you see the book of Yeshaya, expect Nechama. Yeshaya talks about the Nechama of Am Yisrael. And Yirmiyah, if you read the book of Yirmiyah, Yidag Mina Paranius, be worried about bad things happening because Yirmiyah talks about Paranius. So the obvious question here is, you all can count, at least to three. This is four. It says three kings, and it is four. Yirmiyah, Yeshaya, Yechezkel, and so what's going on over here? So some take out some are Geiris, they're not Geiris. Hold on, you got here Yechezkel, Yeshaya, Yirmiyah. You do have three. So it's later on that the problem happens. Hold on. So the question is, it says Sefer Malachim. Okay, Sefer Malachim is Nevi'im. Maybe that's what nobody. There are four things. You got Sefer Malachim, Yechezkel, Yeshaya, and Nehemiah. So some say Sefer Malachim isn't one of the Nevi'im. It's a book. That's the question over here. Okay, so maybe you take out Sefer Malachim. Some take out Yeshaya. There's different gears over here. Haraya Sefer Tehillim. New sugya, new din. Haraya Sefer Tehillim. You see the Sefer Tehillim, the book of Psalms. Yitzapel Chasidus. Again, who wrote Sefer Tehillim? David. So the whole book of Tehillim is about Chasidus, about loving Hashem. Mishli, you see the book of Mishli. Mishli is about wisdom. Yitzapel Chochma. Proverbs. Expect to be a wise man. Eiv, if a person sees the book of Eiv, Yidag Mina Paranius, He should be worried about bad things happening, about retribution. Do tshuva, repent. You shouldn't get the retribution. Shlosh ksuvim ktanim. There's 3 types of ksuvim ktanim. Now the gemorah splits between the ksuvim gedolim and ksuvim ktanim. 3 ksuvim ktanim. Hey, marei shir shirim b'chala mitzap el chasidus. If you see the book of Shir Shirim, expect to be a chassid. It's all about Avos Hashem. So it's about loving Hashem. Kaheles yitzap el chachma. The book of Kaheles is about wisdom. Kinais, and unfortunately Kinais means Eicha, Megillas Eicha. Yidag mina paraniyos. Now a new thing, Harei Megillas Esther, it's not one of the listed 3 before. If you see the book of Esther in your dream, you see Megillas Esther, Nas Eloi Nes. The whole book of Megillas Esther, the whole story of Esther, is the miracle we had when the Persians, the Iranians, tried to kill every single Jew, and that's still going on today. And we were saved, miraculously we were saved, just like today we were miraculously saved from the evil Persian Empire that just wants to wipe us out. So the book of Esther represents Nisim. Shlosh Chachamim, the 3 Chachamim. If you see Rabbeinu Kodesh, the author of the Mishnah, expect wisdom. Rabbi Elazar ben Azara, you see Rabbi Elazar ben Azara, Yitzapel Ashiris, he was incredibly wealthy. Expect to be very rich. The money's coming. Rabbi Shmuel ben Elisha, if you see Rabbi Shmuel ben Elisha, Yidag mina Paranies, expect to suffer. You should worry because of suffering. And why Davka Rabbi Shmuel ben Elisha? Because he was one of the 10 Rugei Malchus. So they ask, those other Rugei Malchus, why does it mention Rabbi Akiva? Why does it mention other people, other Tanoim who suffered? And the reason is because L'chaira, he also suffered before he was a Sorei Malchus. In other words, a Sorei Malchus, Rabbi Akiva, he lived till 130, or he lived a very long age. And in Laras, when they caught him, they killed him, they tortured him, right? But till then, he had a good life. But Rabbi Shmuel ben Elisha, he was thrown in prison beforehand. He suffered before that he was killed. There's 3 Tamid Chachamim. Horei ben Nazai b'chalim yitzap el chasidus. If you see ben Nazai, expect to become very righteous. Ben Zoyma, you see ben Zoyma? Yitzap el chachma, expect to become very wise. Acher, you see Acher yidag mina paraniyos. Expect challenges in life. Now it talks about animals. Any animal you see in a dream is good for a dream. All animals in dreams are good, except for except for a elephant, which we said the elephant is a very different animal to all other animals. It's got this long nose, no other animal has that. Or it's huge. It's different because it's huge, so it stands out from all other animals. Kaif is different from all other animals because it walks on 2 feet, looks like a human, so it's very unique. And a kippoid, so what's a kippoid exactly? I think nowadays they call a kippoid like a hedgehog or something like that. But it looks like, according to Rashi, a kippoid is some type of monkey with a tail. That's what it says. It's some type of smaller monkey. Some say it's got like a cat face. I don't know exactly what it is. Not clear to me what this kippoid is. It says, the gemorah asked the same question we saw yesterday. If you see elephants in your dream, wonders are going to happen to you. Wonders. Why do you say it's bad? It's not a kasha if the elephant has a saddle on. It's ploim nasalai. If it doesn't have a saddle, then it's not a good dream. All types of metal is good for a dream. You see a metal spoon, you see a metal, I don't know what, sword, whatever you see metal, it's all good. Chutz mer, except for a mer is like a hoe, something you shovel with. Pesel v'kardum, some type of, so according to Rashi, pesel is a dulyer, which is, I don't know exactly what dulyer is, but it's some type of axe. And a kardum is an axe, and a pesel is, Rashi says it's something that smooths out nails. Others say it's some type of shovel or sculptor, whatever they call it. Some type of metal tools. one of these tools with bad sign, if the axe, you see with a handle, you just see the head of an axe. Okay, metal's good for dreams. Why is metal good for dreams? I don't know, maybe metal represents something strong, something indelible, lasts forever. But if it's with an axe, if it's with a handle, then it's made for destroying, it's made for chopping stuff down, it's made for breaking nails or whatever it is. So if you see with a handle, it's not a good sign. All fruit are good for dreams. Chutz mi pagei tamra. All fruit are good for dreams except for pagei tamra, wasted dates. Dates that are dried out dates. All vegetables are good for dreams. Chutz mi roshe liftes, except for the head of turnip. Rav say, and Rav said nothing bad happened to him until he saw the head of a lifter, meaning it's bad. He saw it growing. If you see it in its place where it grows, it's fine. If you see the Rosh Lifter is not in its place, it's a bad sign. Says the gemorah. You see any colors in your dream, it's good. In other words, it looks from the gemorah that most people dream in black and white. If you see color in a dream, it's good. It's a good sign. Any color is a good sign. Except for the color tchelis. Tchelis, Rashi says yorik. Green. Tchelis is the color of citrus. It's like a turquoise, basically. So why is turquoise a bad sign in a dream? Citrus is made out of tchelis. Tchelis is a beautiful color. So some say because the kisei kavod is daimel tchelis, right? And kisei kavod is where people are going to be judged. So if you see tchelis, it represents judgment. Others imply that tchelis is it's greenish, and when someone's sick, he turns pale, he turns green, and therefore tchelis is a bad sign. I think the yeshivs says tchelis comes from tachlis, it's the end of the game. Tachlis, the end, and therefore it's a bad sign. All types of birds are good for dreams. Chutz min, except for carrier, an owl, kupifa, the kurparai, barn owls, small owls, and regular owls. Some owls have got the little ones don't have ears. Some owls have got ears sticking up. Other owls have got these very round faces. It looks like just a circle, and they're different from all other birds. They stand out. And therefore it's a bad sign. Why? What's different about owls? So first of all, most birds, it's like all birds except for owls, their eyes are to the side. They can see around. They have very weak focus forward. They can't see. In fact, they can see sideways better than they can see forward. Owls see forward. They've got much more depth perception. They can see further away. They're unique in that they look like humans. You look at them and their eyes are looking straight at you. You don't have that with any other birds. Others say it's got like a human face. It's got Rashi says it's got cheeks. It's got like a lechaim. Has cheeks. It looks humanish. The one with the cheeks. So it's a bad sign. It looks different. It looks mashuna. Owls look mashuna, and therefore they look very different. And therefore it's a bad sign. The gemorah brings a simon, a guf, a noif, a guf, ma'ayin, yeshivim, merchivim, simon. Okay, what's going on over there? Shleisha nichnasim leguf. There's three things that go into the guf. There's three things you can eat, but your body has no benefit from them. Gudgoniyos, which is cherries. Chapaniyos is this like a type of dates that's a bad type of dates. Upage tamra, and dried out dates. So I don't know, these things you eat them, your body has no hana from them. Shloisha ein nichnasim leguf v'aguf nana mehem. There's three things that don't go into the body, but your body anyway is nana from them. Your body benefits from them anyway. Elohen rechitza, washing, v'sicha, rubbing oils on your body, v'tashmish. And tashmish, we're going to see the gemorah soon, that means sleeping with someone. So why tashmish amit? In other words, using your bed. So why does the gemorah bring these three things? Some say to tell you, don't do too much of it. You'll be nimshachachat taivas. Don't run after hot baths and hot oils and too much tashmish. It's taiva. It's a type of anah. You can be benefiting. Others say it's telling me this. You should know the reason why you can't do this on Yom Kippur. You're not allowed to shower and use your bed or use oils on Yom Kippur because your body your body benefits from it. Shloisha me'ein olam haba. There's three things on me'ein olam haba. This is one of the most famous gemorahs because we sing it on Shabbos. Me'ein olam haba. Shabbos is me'ein olam haba. What people don't know, Shloisha me'ein olam haba ein. Shabbos is me'ein olam haba. Shemesh, the sun, v'tashmish, and using your bed. So, tashmish means relations. L'chayra, we're going to see that the gemorah doesn't like that pshat. So, what's pshat over here? What? It needs a bit of a beer, because Shabbos sounds like a spiritual thing, and the sun and tashmish sound like physical things. So, what's going on over it? So, l'chayra, some say that Shabbos is also physical. The Shabbos doesn't mean you have some type of spiritual enjoyment. Shabbos means on Shabbos you eat good food, and on Shabbos the food tastes better. Just like the sun. Rashi says, what's the sun? What's the sun talking about? Chamazirachas. When you see the sun rising in the morning, you see sunrise. It's beautiful. It's incredible. It's mein olam haba. The Pashtus is just the sun b'chlal. The sun heals. The sun's marpeh. The Gemara says. The pasuk says shemesh marpeh. The sun has tremendous healing potential. So it could be there's three different aspects to olam haba. Shabbos is menucha. Shabbos is rest. Olam haba is menucha, rest. The shemesh is either beauty. You see the sun rising. It's the most beautiful thing in the world. It's spiritual. It's a spiritual thing, and you can't avoid it. Or maybe shemesh is being healed. The olam haba heals a person, heals you from all your issues. Not just you rest, but you're healed. And tashmish is either pleasure. L'chayra means some type of there's physical pleasure. So olam haba is this tremendous hana, pleasure. Tashmish d'mai. So Gemara asks, tashmish d'mai. What type of tashmish are we referring to here? What type of tashmish literally was to use? Using what? If we're talking about using a bed, so the Gemara says using your bed too much makes you weak. So that can't be ein olam haba. Olam haba is good for you. It doesn't make you weak. Tashmish d'kavim means go to the bathroom. Go to the bathroom. You hear this? You walk out of the bathroom. You should say, ein olam haba, to go to the bathroom. What a joy to go to the bathroom. It's one of the longest brochos, one of the longest blessings you make. After you leave the bathroom, you make a tremendous blessing. Ein olam haba. Other Mepharshim say, why is tashmish? Now that we're talking about tashmish using the bathroom, why is it ein olam haba? Because tashmish, using the bathroom, you get rid of all your psailas, you get rid of all the waste. Olam haba, where you get rid of all the bad, all of the negativity, you just feel good. That's what is represented by olam haba. Shleisha meshivin daita shaladam. Three things calm you down. If a person's angry, a person's scattered, he's got anxiety, he's nerves, he's worried. Three things calm you down. They meshiv your das. Elehein koil, the voice, umara, a look, and reach, smell. So these things in your face, your nose, your ears, and your in your eyes, right? Your nose, your ears, and your eyes, they can all lead to calming you down, relaxing you. So Rashi says, what's koil? Take a look in Rashi. Rashi says, it's a few lines further up, Shamine Zema, music. I kol orev shelisha. So Rashi interestingly says, two types of koil. Either music, you hear someone playing the guitar, it gives you yeshiv das, or the sweet voice of a woman. For some reason, Rashi doesn't sound like a man's voice won't calm you down. So in Farsi, what's going on here? You're not allowed to listen to a woman singing. It's talking about your wife. Your wife is allowed to singing. Your wife sings. It's meishiv daita shalodam. It gives you yeshiv das. It's interesting that Rashi throws in Kol Zemer Shel Isha. Fascinating Rashi. Kol Zemer, and a man saying he doesn't give Yeshiva Das? No, says Rashi. Something about a woman's voice. It's something there that gives you Yeshiva Das. Umara, seeing something beautiful. You see a beautiful sunrise. We said before, it's Bein Adam Haba. You can see a beautiful painting. It can give you Yeshiva Das, something beautiful. Beauty, you see a beautiful tree, a beautiful view. Reach, smelling good things, gives you, smelling strong things, gives you Yeshiva Das. Three things give you a wider Das. Give you not just Yeshiva Das, calms you down. It gives you expanded consciousness, whatever that means. It gives you a Chavas Das. Elehen, Diranaya, a nice apartment, a nice living space. V'ishanah, a beautiful woman, having a pretty wife, something to look at. V'kelim noimim, and beautiful kelim. The Mepharshim say two of these things you do once and you're done. Or once a few times a year, or a few times in your life. You buy a new apartment and you marry a woman. Right? It has to give a person, it gives you a chavas adas. The kelim noim is something you could do every day. Every day you walk to the store, you say, I want a chavas adas. You go, you buy a nice whatever it is, soup ladle, and then you have a chavas adas. Gives you some type of chavas adas. Some Mepharshim take this negatively and say you should avoid these things because a chavas adas will give you more taiva. It'll give you more appetite for more. So stay away from it. I think the way that people say it is that these things are important. A person should have an isha noya, a dirin noya, have a nice apartment, have a nice wife, have nice kelim. In order that you should have a chavas adas. If you live with symptom, it's the opposite of symptom. You feel like crushed. You're suffering. You look at your wife, you're like, hey. You walk into your apartment, you're like, oh, it's terrible. A clean, orderly apartment gives you yeshiva chavas adas. You're able to expand. I don't know what exactly the difference between yeshiva das and chavas adas is. If you have pshat, let me know. Chamisha v'shisha v'asara siman. 5, 6, 10 siman. Chamisha, there's 5 things that echa meshishim. There's 5 things out of the 1 in 60, the 60th. Elohen, Eish, Dvash, Shabbos, B'Shein v'Chalaim. These 5 things: fire, honey, Shabbos, sleep, and a dream. This is the one I was going to explain. Eish, echa meshishim l'gen. Fire is the 60th of hell. You want to know what hell's going to be like? Next time your wife cooks something, put your hand in the fire for 5 minutes. Hell's going to be 60 times that. Dvash, honey, is echa meshishim l'man. You want to know how delicious the man was, how sweet the man was that came down in the midbar? Honey is the 60th of the man. Shabbos, echa meshishim l'olam haba. Shabbos is the 60th of Olam Haba. Sheina echa meshishim l'misa. Sleep is the 60th of death. When you sleep, person's kilo is dead. Whatever that means. A chalaim echa meshishim l'nevuah. A dream is the 60th of a nevuah. Again, back to dreams. So when you dream, it's not nevuah, but it's me'ain, it's a little bit. So the Mepharshim say it doesn't mean exactly 60th. It means it's a tiny fraction, and the 60th is used because the 60th is bottle b'raiv. It's not bottle b'raiv, it's bottle b'shishim. It's a share that it's there, it exists. It's a little bit over 2%, but a little bit under 2% rather. But it's bottled. It's basically meaningless. So if you have a big pot of soup and a tiny little thing falls in that's not kosher, you could say bottle b'shishim or bottle b'elef or whatever it is. Normally bottle b'shishim, I'm not passing in the shilas, but it's bottle b'shishim is a way you can cancel stuff out. So in Mela, these things is like, even though it doesn't say bottle b'elef, if you'll get a real understanding. The menucha you have on Shabbos will give you an idea, or you'll have a real idea of what the menucha in Olam Haba is going to be like. It's nothing like it. How do we know it's nothing like it? Because the Mishnah in Pirkei Avos says the yofeh kairos ruach Olam Haba, the smell of the Olam Haba, the second smell is yofeh mikol chay Olam Hazeh. It's the world to come is a second of it, the smell of a second of Olam Haba is more than all the pleasures in this world that everyone will ever has or ever will enjoy. 1 second Olam Haba, so it's millions of times greater. But you have a proper understanding. I don't know what it means that Misa Shein is Echa Meshishim Shel Misa. But what it means is that, I don't know if you have pshat, go ahead, tell me. Person is dead or you're alive. Like, what do you mean? Shein is Echa Meshishim Shel Misa. It means, I guess, your bodily functions, nothing's working, your brain, you're not aware of anything. Okay. So Shisha, there's 6 things. Shisha Dvarim Simin Yafa L'Chayla. There's 6 things, which is a nice siman for Chayla. It means he's going to get better. What are the 6 things? Itush, sneezing, Zayah, sweating, Shulshul, having diarrhea, Kari, having a nocturnal discharge, Sheina, sleeping, V'chalaim, and dreaming. Itush Dichsiv, Atishaysav Tahelayel. Zayah, sweat, Dichsiv, Shulshul, Dichsiv, Mehat Sayel Epatich V'la Yomus L'Shachis. Kari, Dichsiv, Yirezeri Archamim. And Sheina, Dichsiv, Yishanti Az Yanochli. And Chalaim, the dream, Dichsiv, V'tchamen V'tchayeni. Okay, so these 6 things are a good siman for someone that is sick. And Shisha Dvar Marapin is a Chayla Machali for. The 6 things, they heal a Chayla. The 6 things, they heal you. It's not a siman. No, those 6 things is a sign he's going to get better. Someone starts sweating profusely, he's sick, he starts sweating. It's a sign that he's going to get better, right? Or someone sleeps tons, it means his body's healing, his body's taking care. It's a sign that he's going to get better. You can't force yourself to sleep for 12 hours. But these 6 things you can do. What are the 6 things? Kruv, cabbage, vitadin, spinach, the sissinivation, dried mint, the keba, eating the intestines of an animal, the heres, eating the womb of an animal, the yaser sakavid, eating the diaphragm of an animal. So these 6 things are very healing. Even having small fish, having herring, always advisable. Having sardines, small fish heals. Not only does small fish heal a person when he's sick, having small fish heals and mafrin umarbin kol guf v'shladam, makes your entire body healthy and happy. And from the word puru, be fruitful and multiply. Your body multiplies. Your body is always, gemorah seems to understand that your body is always changing. The DNA, your cells are always rejuvenating. So small fish, and I think the Mepharshim is saying with small fish, a fish where you don't take out the bones, it's cooked and you have the whole bones with it, because the bones are so small and soft that you have the whole fish. That's what small fish is. And yet, when you have a small fish, it's got like all sorts of good things in there that you don't have in big fish, selenium and I don't know what, magnesium and all sorts of minerals that you don't have in regular fish. There's tons of omega-3 and these things, which is incredibly good for the body. So Chazal is telling us, have the small fish. It's always good for you. Not even if you're sick, not only if you're sick, you should always have it. Okay, Asar Dvarim, we'll wrap up with this one. Asar Dvarim, there's 10 things. Machzin esachayil they make a person sick. V'chalya kasha, and it'll make a person even more sick than he was before. Elehen, hayecha basa shar, eating the meat of a bull. Basa shaman, fat meat. Basa tzli, roasted meat. Basa tzipairim, bird meat. Beit tzluya, a roasted egg. B'tiglachas, shaving. V'shachalim, shechalim, it's some type of vegetable, some type of, like a turnip. It sounds like it's a turnip, something like that. Or kale, something in that family. V'cholav, having milk, v'gvina, and cheese, v'merchatz, and going into the bathhouse. V'yeshayim afagayzim, some say also having nuts will makes you sicker. V'yeshayim af kishuim, and some say also having kishuim is kishui, what's a squash? And Talmud Reishma, lama nikashman kishuim. Why is it called kishuim? You shouldn't have squash, it's bad for you, like charavas, like knives. Eini vaksiva v'yom Hashem lo shnei goyim b'vidnei chati goyim el game. Is kishum really bad? It says Amar of Yehuda. Rav Elan Tignus v'Rebbe Rebbe and Tignus, they were both two rich men, and they both didn't leave their table ever. Tznun, radishes, chazeres, and kishuim. So why was Rebbe eating kishuim if it's unhealthy, if it's bad for you? Like kasha, baravri, abazutri. If it's big squash is bad for you. Small squash is good for you. All right, thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.